Sexism in sport is in subtle practices. The Kyneton Football Netball Club women's team has officially left the club after continuously facing what they described as a volatile environment. For these 35 women, that included change rooms with dirty underwear, bathrooms filled with feces and spit and blood, which they had to clean up themselves, and a pride sticker that was ripped off the clubroom walls. The final straw for them came when they were playing their second consecutive grand final game. And instead of the club going, yeah, we should totally support our girls, they went, hey, what a great day to host a raffle event. So what did this mean for the girls? Well, instead of being at the raffle event or having members of the club go to the game and then attend the raffle event after, they were left playing 15 minutes down the road in front of the opposition's crowd. And everyone else, they were on the piss, doing whatever you do at a football netball club raffle event. But let's be honest, treatment of women and girls in community sporting clubs has never been equitable, at least here in Australia. Aussie rules football especially has been viewed as a setting where masculinity is constructed, legitimised, and is predominantly seen as a men's space. In 2020, a study was completed looking at the gender equity in community sporting clubs across Australia, and they interviewed multiple members from multiple clubs just to see what is it really like and is there any equity there? And what they found was that although the number of women and girls competing in community sports has risen, the masculinity culture has not wavered at all. While many of the male members, including a club president, likes to say that their clubs are diverse and inclusive and made for women, children, and anyone of any sexuality or any accessibility, when interviewing the women members, they found there was actually the complete opposite. The women there described the club as a male-dominated space, a space where masculinity is respected and celebrated, while their achievements go unnoticed. Compared to the junior and women's teams, the men's teams are actually seen as a higher priority, with a men's coach actually citing the financial stability of the club on the success of the men's team. The inclusivity that many men spoke about in their interviews seems non-existent when compared to the observations made by the researchers, with men getting better maintained grounds that are closer to the club rooms, change rooms that are supposed to be for everyone but constructed with only men in mind, and club rooms filled with male achievement. This lack of value of women in community sporting clubs enables the power imbalance and gender hierarchy that's continuously been hard to break free from, even with the increased number of women and girls that are playing community sport. Not only that, but junior boys become exposed to the culture from a really early age and begin picking up subtle cues on the priority and privilege that men have at the club. And with the men in the club clearly unaware of the male-dominated culture that they have maintained, the behaviour is normalised and then enabled further. And I know what you're thinking, Amy, that study was conducted 6 years ago, and with the growth of AFLW and the Matildas absolutely dominating Australian soccer, surely things have changed. I thought the same thing, so that's why I did further research. So I looked into a study that was completed last year, which followed women in sporting clubs across Australia to figure out if things had actually changed. And surprise, surprise, they hadn't. They found that women in sport are actually put into a box in what is deemed more feminine or appropriate for their gender. This included them being straight, passive, and less aggressive than the men. However, in 2020, it was estimated that roughly between 70 and 80% of women in the AFLW were gay, meaning that the culture and the expectations that are put on these female players make it that much harder for them to feel accepted at the clubs. And these notions of femininity and how women in sport should behave are problematic and limiting their opportunities, with many women choosing more feminine sports like netball and gymnastics over sports seen more masculine like AFL or soccer. And for those women who do push the boundaries and play football, they feel a sense of insecurity around their safety and inclusion at the clubs, feeling pressure to conform to the femininity that is pushed onto them, including navigating social situations. Women described their competitive and outspoken nature being misconstrued as aggressive, having to navigate ways to be passive and sugarcoat things to not come across in a way where they will be outcasted by the club. Not to mention the sexualisation these women face on and off the field, with women describing moments of men shouting at them across the field while they're forced to play in mini shorts and a singlet, making comments on their bodies rather than their sporting performance. Coming back to the women's Kyneton team, they attempted to join the Central Victoria Football League as a separate entity, but was denied, and was forced to play their 2025 season as a joint team, merging with Gisborne in the Essendon District League. When asked why they were denied, they were told by AFL Victoria, who supported the CVFL's decision, that it was not satisfied that a second women's football club in Kyneton could be sustainably supported long term, and raised concerns about potential disruptions established in junior development pathways in neighbouring clubs, as well as them apparently not having any facilities. But the women's team disagreed with this outcome, telling A Current Affair that
we've got evidence here that shows we do have facilities available to us. We've got a commitment from council. We've got financial backing.
Instead of letting it go and rejoining the KFNC and facing the same treatment that they have gotten time and time again, they decided to keep fighting. After discussions with the AFL to find a fair and equitable way forward, they were finally accepted to play in the CVFL. Forming the team and club, the Wedge-tailed Eagles, these women are set to play the 2026 season alongside other Victorian teams, including Bendigo, Eaglehawk and Castlemaine. I commend these women for taking a stand and continuously fighting for their right to play. Changing the masculine culture of football clubs around Australia will continue to be an uphill battle. I wish the women all the best on their upcoming season, especially because they won their grand final last year when they were combined with Gisborne, and I hope they get another grand final win under their belt this season. Comment below your thoughts, as I know that there is a huge amount of women and girls who play sport in Australia. I will put the stat somewhere for you to see. And if you do play sport in Australia as a female, please let me know what your club's like. And if you resonate with the Kyneton women's football team or anything that I've spoken about in terms of the studies, as I'd really like to know what people think. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button and please give me a like, and I will catch you next week.